Hello, Wildcats. Dayglow here, and today we are introducing a new segment that we are going to be doing on a regular basis. It is called Under the Radar. Basically, you should be able to tell what it means by the title, but just in case you don't, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be talking about decks, in our opinion, that have kind of gone under the radar and kind of incognito in the Yu-Gi-Oh world. And basically, we're going to dissect them. We're going to go through what makes them bad, what makes them good, the support cards, and everything else in between. So today, I wanted to talk about Mist Valleys. Now, as of late, Mist Valleys have kind of been on the Yu-Gi-Oh scene just a little bit, but it's more certain Mist Valley cards. Mist Valleys have been kind of mixing it up with ninjas a bit. Um, there's kind of decks that are trying to step in and be the whole new Mist Valley decks like Harpies. There are a couple decks that are coming out. There's Gustos, stuff like that. So basically, cards that make Mist Valleys good, there's a few of them. Basically, your first engine is Mist Valley Falcon and Mist Valley Thunderbird, just because it's an incredible engine with the field spell, that field spell being Divine Wind of Mist Valley. Your second engine would be Gen X Ally Birdman and Gen X Ally Blast Fan, two cards that aren't part of the archetype, but indeed do make the deck a whole lot better. And basically, like I said, those are the two engines that you're really going to feed off of and just swarm the field with. Other cards that really make it good, cards that I've been sort of implementing into the deck as the years have gone on, is Reborn Tengu, obviously. When it was at 3, it was a lot better, but now although it's at 2, you're still able to use it, and you're still able to use it at a good rate, with the help of Vortex Trooper, which is a level 3 wind monster that's Aqua type, but basically he allows you to recycle, and if he gets destroyed, you draw one card. A card that I'm not a big fan of is Winged Rhino, so although a lot of people have been here and there trying him, and I've tried him out, it just doesn't work for me. I just don't like the card with the deck. I just don't think it fits in. The same thing can be said with Mist Valley Apex Avion. I think when you bring Apex Avion into the picture, you kind of have to revolve him. You kind of have to revolve the deck around him, and in my opinion, it's kind of hard to do that. But it's hard because of the fact that you change it up so much because he's in the deck. When it comes to field spells there's the two field spells. There's Divine Wind of Mist Valley, and there's Shrine of Mist Valley. And there's really no comparison because Divine Wind of Mist Valley is really a really fucking good card, and then you have Shrine of Mist Valley, which is just a piece of shit. It's almost like comparing Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus and Crystal Beat Cobalt Ego. One's really good, while the other is a piece of shit. And as you are aware, that Pegasus is really good, where Cobalt Ego is a piece of shit. But I haven't really experimented with Shrine of Mist Valley too much. I'm sure there's probably something you can do with it. It really bugs me when I see Konami make a really shitty card, a really obviously shitty card, and then just because there's no reason why they just made it on purpose. There's obviously something you can do with it, so I'll definitely try to do something with it. It's not going to be the same build as what I'm using right now, but I will try something with it. But just as of right now, it's just a really, really terrible card with how Mist Valleys are generally played, and really, in my opinion, the best way that you can make them. Another kind of experiment that I will be trying out is a little more dark support. Obviously, you have the dark support with Birdman, but something else you might want to try considering is Dark Simorgh. I know there's been a couple of Gusto decks that have gone around Dark Simorgh, and a couple of other dark monsters, just the typical, there's like Tour Guide Sangan. But I mean, if you're kind of that a little more experimental than that, you're not going to try to run Tour Guide and Sangan in the deck just because you kind of want to challenge with building, and you kind of want to try other stuff. And in all fairness, you'll probably end up finding a lot better stuff that'll go with it, in my opinion at least. But Dark Simorgh is definitely something that I'll be trying out. It's definitely something that intrigues me, mainly because it's so usable with the deck. Then again, it also changes how you be playing the deck. But I don't think too much, because it gives you an option rather than something that you would kind of have to go to. So Dark Simorgh would kind of be something where, it's a backup plan. That's the best way I can probably describe it. When it comes to Mist Valleys in today's game is a lot more exceeding than it is synchroing. But definitely when Mist Valleys first came out, there was a lot more synchroing, and that's where I'm going to kind of start resuming with the deck, just because I've brought it back. So it's kind of in the reincarnation mode, and right now I'm just going to kind of build it the way it was built before, the way I did have it built before, sorry. And I'm just going to go from there, and basically the way I had it is I would just swarm the field, synchro really quickly into whatever the fuck. Basically Thunderlord was the best ideal monster. But when it comes to Exceed monsters, there's definitely like Lightning Chidori that's coming out. You always go for the generics like Utopia and Maestroke, which are still really great for any deck. There's Digesto, Emerald, Laval Chain, etc. Just cards that basically make the deck fucking indomitable and unstoppable. When it comes to spell and trap cards, basically you're going to be looking for cards that really complement the field spell, because the field spell is kind of what it's based around. It's one of the main principles. So stuff you're going to kind of you're going to want to look for is Quillpen of Galdos, which is very vital and very, very good in the deck, mostly because it allows you to recycle. So if you have your 2 Tengus in the graveyard, and you want to make that deck that much faster, you always recycle those in the back of your deck. And plus, on top of that, you get to bounce 1 monster on the field back to the owner's hand. So it can even be on your opponent's, and I've done that quite a bit. So it's really fun to do that. Also, Compulse, obviously, should just pretty much say it right there. We all know what Compulse does, but it's just one of those cards, again, that will really complement the field spell. It's just more support for the deck. That's basically it. If my recommendation is, if you want to try Mist Valleys, there's a lot of stuff you can really do with them. There's a lot of cards that you can mix them up with. Try mixing them up with whatever you'd like. Try mixing them up with Harpies. Try mixing them up with Ninjas. I'd even go as far as try mixing them up with Gustos. Who knows, you might find something that I don't even know. Other than that, this was the first installment of Under the Radar. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You'll definitely be seeing a lot more videos like this. And don't forget to comment, rate, SCRUB-Scribe, and click some shit, because that helps. See you later, Wildcats.